Do you need to purchase Memory Maker for your Disney trip? Is it worth your money? How do you get the most of it? I'm spilling all the tea in today's video. Let's dive into when it's worth it to get Memory Maker versus when it's not. We're gonna talk about Disneyland versus Disney World with Memory Maker, along with, if you purchase it, how to get the most out of it, how to get the best photos, best memories captured. Is Memory Maker worth it? I'm gonna tell you that as a pro photographer, I didn't think so, but my mind was changed moments into our trip. Welcome back, friends. Or if you're new here, welcome. I am Nasa Lee of the Lee Crew. I have 6 kids, married to my high school sweetheart. We honeymooned in Disney and have been all about making the magic of Disney since. We share vlogs here on this channel, along with some tips and tricks to help you make your Disney trip magical, no matter the size of your family or age of your kids. So let's dive into it. I'm gonna start with a story. I'm a professional photographer. I, of course, bring my own camera to Disney World. And in our trip in September last year of 2023, I had zero intention of purchasing Memory Maker because you can save money when you purchase it before your trip. I believe you save about $20. Now, we walk into the park and within moments of arriving, we were waiting for my parents and Minnie Mouse walks out right in the front of Epcot. How magical. There's only 2 people in front of us. We go hop in line. I grab my camera and my camera battery is dead because the heat killed it. And I am now sitting there like, oh my gosh, okay, and there's a Photopass photographer. We'll talk a little bit more about them in a moment. And instantly I'm like, well, we're buying Memory Maker. Moments into our trip, I'm like, well, I need these photos. So right away, mistake made. Now, of course, I figured out how to get my camera to work. I like how to take care of batteries so they didn't die. But my whole world was changed on Memory Maker. Let's back up a moment. So what is even Memory Maker and how do you use it? So the first thing, what is it? It is a package that allows you to get all the photos taken by photographers and from rides and throughout the park in your Disney trip. So when you purchase it, it is good for the length of your stay, maybe plus or minus a few days, and it gives you all of the photos that they take. So there are Photopass photographers throughout the parks, whether or not you're in Disney World or Disneyland, whether you're meeting characters in front of iconic locations, there's some special photo spots, and they will take your photo. Now, they will take it with your phone too, so you don't have to purchase it. You could get with your phone, but they are photographers. They have a little bit nicer camera, but we're gonna get into those details in a moment. We're gonna talk about that in a moment. It includes your ride photos, so like those photos of coming down on Everest and in Dinosaur, all the great rides that have ride photos, it does include those as well. How do you use it? It's very easy to use. Everything is linked into your Disney account. So you want the My Disney Experience app. You want it anyway to book lightning lanes and use Genie Plus and to see wait times and all the things. If you want tips on Genie Plus, go check out my other video on the channel already. But you're going to use that same app. And whenever you go up to a place with a Photopass photographer, you go up, they will scan either your Magic Band or if you have Magic Mobile on your watch, your park ticket, the actual park ticket, or your phone if it's connected there. They're gonna scan that and they will appear right into your photos area on your phone. It is fantastic because it's so easy. They're all right there. You can download them right away to your phone to use and to share. You can see them like instantly. So again, super easy to use. But let's talk about the next aspect of what kind of quality photos are these? It is hit or miss. I'm gonna be straight up honest. We got some really amazing Photopass photos and we got some not so great Photopass photos. And you're never quite sure, and some photographers are really great and really attentive to details. They capture the special hug with a character. There is one of my son, he just loves Jasmine and had been waiting, and it was like our last day in the park when we finally were able to meet Jasmine, and he tells her that she is his favorite princess. She gives him a hug, and the photographer got the best tear down my cheek photo ever, and I'm so grateful for it. But we also got some photos where the light was terrible, the sun was in our eyes, they were really harshly lit, and they were not great. And there was a couple where they took, and it wasn't super flattering of me. I would have loved if they would have said something about my posing. Again, it's me being a little more nitpicky as a photographer, but there's the reality of Photopass that sometimes you get great photos and sometimes you don't. There's also some characters have like a box in the wall and it's like a timer, a camera that just takes a picture of the scene every, say, 30 seconds. And some of those will be like it's not really great for capturing those sweet hugs or whatnot. It is what it is. You can also hand your phone off to a cast member there that's with the character, and they could typically take one too if you wanted to do that, or you could take some with your phone. So again, you don't need Photopass. Why is Photopass? Why was I sold on it? I am in photos. Normally on family vacation, I have to hand my camera off to my husband. I have to pray that he gets a few in focus that have me, and he's great about it. He's not like, oh, I gotta take another photo of you, but he's not also gung-ho about taking photos either. With this, it means I can hop into those photos. My husband can hop into those photos. We're in all of them. I've got some with the grandparents too, meeting characters in front of iconic places. It was great for those things. Let's talk about a couple things. First, I'm going to talk about the differences between Disney World and Disneyland, and then I'm going to talk about when it's worth it and when it's not, because you kind of need that detail of the differences. Or in Disneyland, the purchase of your Genie Plus pass includes all Photopass photos. So even with the photographers, the ride photos, the photographers, if you plan on purchasing Genie Plus, which I would do anyway. But if you plan on purchasing Genie Plus, because hello, you get to skip the line, you also get those photos. It is not worth it to buy it then. We had photos with Photopass photographers. I had zero intention of purchasing Photopass when I took my son to Disneyland because I knew he was not going to be taking a bunch of pictures with princesses, but we did take some pictures and they were all included with our Genie Plus purchase. So Disneyland is great because you don't have to worry about buying Memory Maker. It's basically included. In Disney World, however, Genie Plus only includes the ride photos. The photos on all the rides that you go on. So you don't get the ones of individual photographers. They are different. That is kind of a bummer, but something to know, the differences between the two parks. So how does this help you decide if it's worth it or not? Pre-purchasing your Memory Maker will save you some money, but like in our case, we didn't know if we were going to need it or not. It was worth it to pay. I believe it was $200. We went for 8 days. That was worth it. One digital download, I believe, was like $20. They took several photos throughout. But if you don't think you're gonna take a bunch of photos, maybe it's not worth it, or you can always decide at any point that you want to purchase it. Like us, we did it during the trip. It was very easy to do in the app. Times it's not gonna be worth it. If you're only gonna do ride photos, you're not gonna take any photos with characters like princesses or Minnie or Mickey and Donald. You're not gonna take any in front of the castle or the Tree of Life or anything like that, then it's probably not worth your money. Just buy Genie Plus and get those ride photos. Because again, the ride photos are super fun, right? If you are going to meet characters, if you want to exist in photos, if you want to just be able to put the camera down and let the focus be on you and getting those moments, maybe you want to just have the memories recorded and they're taking photos, then Memory Maker is 100% worth it. Again, I was not a convert and I definitely was after that trip. So there's that. Now, here's a bonus thing about Memory Maker. If you are traveling with multiple parties, so beyond your immediate family, if you are traveling with a friend, or in my case, we traveled with my mom, my parents, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, all of them, because we linked our park tickets, were included in my Memory Maker. Any photos that they got scanned in on too, I could see, and I was able to download them. Now they weren't because they hadn't purchased it through their account, but I could download it and share it with them. So if you're going with another family, it is a killer way to save some money, split the cost of Memory Maker, link those accounts and get all those photos. One day in the parks, my friend took my daughter and she took the girls and they went and met princesses and we did Space Mountain with the older kids, and she got photos, but she didn't have Photopass. And I was like, well, just make sure you scan them in. And I was able to download those photos that included my daughter, it had her daughter, and I could download them and send them to her. So she also got them. So again, that is a great way to save some money. Maybe go in on it with a friend, or in your family, if you have extended family, only one of you needs to purchase Memory Maker. Is Memory Maker worth it? It really depends on your goals for the trip, how many photos you're gonna take, and if you want to exist in photos. For me, it is definitely worth it. Again, they're not all killer photos. We got some interesting ones. Some things to keep in aware to really make the most of it is pay attention to light when you're doing it. So if you want to have better photos, this goes in anything, is instead of taking your photo when the glaring sun is in your face and on you and on the castle, wait till the sun goes down a little bit, or do it earlier in the morning where it's not everyone in harsh shadows and glaring with, you know, squinting and sunglasses. Just pay attention. You can look at other people having their photos taken and see like, oh, they're all squinty. Let's wait a little bit to take these photos, or let's go to another spot that doesn't have the sun in our face. So that's another way to really make the most of it. So is Photopass worth it? I would say 100%. In my family's case, again, it meant I could exist in photos. It meant that I could relax and not take pictures. It meant that we just got some really special moments captured. But I hope this video helped you kind of think about all there is to know to really make the most of Photopass if you are getting it, or Memory Maker if you're getting it, and that you have a magical trip. I'll see you in the next video.